I think you're a hater, haters everywhere we go, haters everywhere we go, haters everywhere we go, where we go, haters going down for the count, looking at the ground. I think you're a hater, I think you're a hater, haters everywhere we go, haters everywhere we go, haters everywhere we go, haters everywhere we go, where we go, haters going down for the count, looking at the ground. I think you're a hater, I think you're a hater, haters everywhere we go, haters everywhere we go, haters everywhere we go, where we go, haters going down for the count, looking at the ground. I think you're a hater, I think you're a hater, haters everywhere we go, haters everywhere we go, haters everywhere we go, where we go.
And if you was instead of hating, you'd be ballin' too. I know you seen us fallin' too. All the rich niggas is all my crew. Fuck it, they can't touch us. If stuck up is what you call it, cool. Ooh, you should've seen when I came down in that. Black on black, cause it's gator haters face down on the mat. Splat, yeah, I can make a green nigga mad. Quick, fast, flash like 10 cash on this bitch. Can tell I'm a G by the walk in the stands. I play the game, make me talk in the stands. Watch how you talk when you talk to the man. If it ain't about bridge, you talk to the head. I show you how to get rich. You got a weak arm, I'll show you how to pitch. Made so play, I'll show you by the hit. And tell the police I don't know about shit. Hey, God, I'm fly, something like the air. Ain't that something when it's stunting, man? It's nothing like air. Homie, hold it right there. Homeboy, right there.
Haters going down for the count, looking at the ground. I think you're a hater, I think you're a hater, haters everywhere we go, haters everywhere we go, haters everywhere we go, where we go, haters going down for the count, looking at
BE, salute. Cash Crypto, salute. What's going on this morning, people? I came on this morning because I don't know if Fanon gonna be on or not. If Fanon come on, I get off though. You know, that's the morning jig. But what's good with everybody this morning? This shit right here is early. But yeah, we just had to weigh in. It's gonna be a good fight this weekend. That's the same guy that Inoue knocked out, Rodriguez. But he's a pretty good fighter. He think he gonna stop that guy. BE's. Hey, I be trying to BE's, man. I be trying to. What's been good with y'all though, man? Undercard, salute, King, salute. I'm gonna drop this link. Anybody want to get up here early this morning? Cook with me a little bit this morning. Y'all know I like to get it going with the people. You feel me? It's always great when you got somebody up here with you. Undercard, you can jump up here, bro. It be easy, anybody. Shit. We getting started right now. Anthony Joshua got to fight this weekend against Robert Helenius. Hell, Robert Helenius just had a fight last weekend. Stopped the guy in the third round. He ain't take no damage. So he getting a good paycheck. He getting back-to-back fights. And see, that's people fighting everywhere, but they had a couple people for Anthony Joshua. I want to see Anthony Joshua get somebody like solid. And Helenius, you never know which Helenius you gonna get. You might get the one that knocked out Adam Karnowski twice, or you might get the one that got knocked out by TJ the Fan. Salute. You might get the one that got knocked out by Derek Chisora or Deontay Wilder. But he looked impressive last weekend, though. Came out there, beat the hell out that guy. Wasn't even close. But Anthony Joshua, he's developed a whole new game plan with Derrick James. Anthony Joshua looking good. He looking impressive. He's coming forward. His guard's up. He's more fluid now. He's not that robot that we used to. And Derrick James already said that he was a great athlete already. Yeah, it'd be easy, but you know, Anthony Joshua was a great athlete. You feel me? The only problem it was his mind. Just do, salute, King. You can hop up here too, just do. But the only thing wrong with Anthony Joshua was his mind. You know, he didn't have his confidence. You know, once a boxer's confidence is shook, you know, that makes it hard on the fighter right there. Because the one thing about boxing that you got is your confidence. Like they say, it's 80% mental and 60% physical. Now, you can have the mental part to will yourself through a fight. Like Roy Jones versus Tara 1. You know, he had to will himself through that fight because he didn't have the physical attributes that fight. He was fighting on sheer guts alone. And then you got the physical, where a person take you in deep water to drown you. But when you got that mental and physical both working at the same time, then that's a beautiful thing to see. It's a very beautiful thing to see. But AJ already had the physical attributes. Derrick James just got his mental correct. Got him knowing that he's a big dog right now. And you know, as the heavyweight division goes, so does boxing. So I want AJ to get a great impressive victory this week. So his confidence will be real high to take that Wilder fight this year. Because we've had a great year of boxing. They scheduled that Wilder for December. I'm trying to see who Wilder gonna fight because Andy Ruiz, he's pricing himself out. And if he do price himself out, yeah, Robert was Deontay's sparring partner. You know, Deontay got his ass out of there and won. But usually, that's the thing about that though, undercard. Usually, when you fight your sparring partner, it's a lot tougher because your sparring partner, they know all your nicks, they know things that you're used to, they know what you like to do, they know your tendencies. So a lot of times, I think they talk about Wilder versus Otto Wallin. I think that's what they talk about. And you know, Otto Wallin, that's the guy that gave Tyson Fury so much trouble. Arguably beat that man up. But you know, that'd be a great fight for Deontay Wilder. See, one thing about Deontay Wilder, people know he don't possess the best fundamentals, but Deontay Wilder, like he said, you got to be perfect 12 rounds. I only got to be perfect 1 second because you know he got that right hand of God. Brandon Lindsay, salute. All things salute. You know, Deontay Wilder say you got to be perfect 12 rounds versus me. I ain't got to be perfect with 1 second, which is true. Because Deontay Wilder, he can change a fight in 1 second. Boom. Lights out. And, you know, it's over with. And see, Otto Wale, he knows what's going on. I would like to see him in that though, because he got some herky-jerky style. You know, he's a southpaw. You know, be good for the culture. But yeah, TJ the fan. Yeah, you know, Andy Ruiz, his career at the PBC is gonna be done. See, he's been ducking too many fights, and then he's being difficult to negotiate with. And one thing Al Heyman don't like is if you're difficult to negotiate with. You see Keith Thurman, they put him on the shelf when he didn't want to take that fight in the bubble. And Al Heyman, that's one thing Al Heyman don't like is to lose money. Now, if you schedule the fight, you got to fight. But Andy Ruiz, his dad talked him into wanting 50-50. Like, dude, you was a heavyweight champion for less than a half a year. Then you blew up. Oh, and see, he blew up off all them damn pieces. The man couldn't control himself. He reminds you of Big Pun. Big Pun was a normal sized guy until he got that check. He got that check from the taxi company because the taxi ran over his foot, and then Big Pun gained all that damn weight. And they said with Andy Ruiz, they would send a pizza to his room every day. And that man would eat a whole damn pizza every day. Now, you a boxer, but you ain't got no self-control. That's just wrong. But you see how big he was in the second fight. The man had gained like 60 damn pounds. But you know, that's what money do to people anyway, though. When you get that little bit of money, you can do things that you couldn't do before. And that's what Anthony Joshua did. Andy Ruiz did. And it cost him. First Mexican to become a heavyweight champion. And that didn't last long. Yep. But yeah, it's set though. It's locked in though. Eddie Hearn said that shit locked in right there though. I would have liked to see Wilder versus Usyk. But Usyk seen that damn fight and he got scared. See, Usyk is a bad matchup for Tyson Fury because he's quick, he's nimble, he has great boxing skills. But Deontay Wilder's a bad matchup for Usyk because Deontay Wilder's long and he's got reach and he's got tremendous power. And Usyk, he gets hit. Not as much, but he gets hit. See, Usyk can sit there and slang and bang with Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury ain't got that breakneck power unless he's juiced up. But with Wilder, as far as I know, be easy. Danny Garcia and Law still supposed to be fighting. Danny's trying to get it at a catch weight, but how you trying to get it at a catch? He's trying to get it at 157, but it's for the 160 belt. Like, I don't understand, Danny. If you want to fight for the belt, you need to go up there to that weight and fight for that belt. Yep. But shit, Errol Spence is in Spain enjoying his time off right now. He said his mind's back good. Spence will be ready by December. A lot of people thinking he won't be, but people think that he needs to retire and all that right there. But what they don't realize is Spence just got a bag. Ain't nothing wrong with Spence. That man just got almost close to $40 million. And people feeling sad for him. Like I said, I'm a fan of Errol Spence and I'm a fan of boxing, but ain't no need to be sad for Errol Spence. That man got rich. I mean, when he was already wealthy, now he rich. And the fight gonna be a lot better. You know what would be a good fight undercard? I would like to see Big Baby versus Big Baby. I would like to see Jared Anderson versus Jermell Miller for the big babies. That would be a great fight. Now, Danny might get hurt in heavyweight. Well, you know, one thing I've noticed, Errol Laura, he's not that fleet-footed fighter no more. At the 160-pound division, Errol Laura's been sitting down on his shots. He's been throwing some hell of a shots. Because, you know, his last opponent, Errol Laura, was hit with power. He was hit with power. Now, he had decent enough pop like Floyd, but now at the 160 division, he's got a lot of power now. Yeah, Earl's coming back with a vengeance. People that doubted him and wrote him off, it's all right. Let them stay where they at. And see, that shows how the culture is today. A fighter gets one loss, and then people ready to write him off. And see, what's crazy is we just seen it happen to Earl. We seen it happen to Stephen Fulton. But we say we want them to make great fights. So when a fighter goes out here and make a great fight like Earl or Fulton, and then when they lose, it's like people been sitting there waiting for them to lose. Like on some hating shit. Like on that last dude that came on my last show 2 days ago. He said he was an Errol Spence fan, but he switched to Bud. But he was laughing because Earl got knocked out. But this man said he was a Bud fan, but couldn't even tell me a pay-per-view that Bud had. Couldn't tell me Bud's last fight. It's like they want to sit there and wait for one of us to fail so they can gloat. And that's not being a sports fan. So far, Cash Crypto is supposed to be testing, but with the PBC, they do the test, but they keep it in house. Salute to my guy Will Shelton for the $5 holler, and yes, it's still man down. Yeah, Jermell's still getting tested. One thing about the PBC, they still do testing. They just have it private. Like they said, Spencer Crawford, they had private vital testings. And Jermell Charlo has been tested like 3 times already. Jermell Charlo's a clean fighter. He's been said it. Now, Canelo, that's a different story, but be easy. Crawford ain't going to 160. 160, that's too much for him. I would love to see it at 157. Yeah, Egomaniac Kid, salute. That fake fan was crazy. I even cut him out and put him in the video. But yeah, 160, that's too big for Crawford. That's too big for his frame. See, Crawford, he filled up at 147. If you notice, that 147, he was right. That was his weight right there. If he was to go up to like 160, he'd probably be that same size right there. He probably wouldn't put on any more, but he would probably want to come in smaller to be faster. that whole boy salute. But yeah, I think 154 is still small for Errol, but that's less. That's a better weight for him to come down from 147 because still he can still rehydrate back up. Like 157, 160 be great for Errol, but 154 will be a breeze compared to 147 because if you see, he was about 154 like 3, 4 days before the fight. So with his nutritionist, yeah, I still think 154 is still a little small because Earl's been at that weight for so long. But for this damn sacrifice that he put in to make it to 147, 154 will be a hell of a lot better, a hell of a lot. But at 160, I think he'd be real fluid. 160, he'd be a grown man size. Cause see, Earl ain't a teenager no more. He got his grown man strength, his grown man body. Now he just need to get his grown man weight. Because, like I said, cutting weight like that, it reduces your boxing career. That's why they have weight classes. Floyd, he stayed at his natural weight really. Like at 147, Floyd walks around damn near at 147. He's a small guy. He's a small guy, so that's good for him. But he had the skills to sit there and fight. But a lot of boxers cut down to 147 because that's the glamour division. See, what people don't realize, 135, 147, those are glamour divisions right there. So if you close to the 147, like Sean Porter was 154, he came down to 147 because that's the glamour division. That's why Devin Haney stayed at 135 for so long because that's the glamour division. Don't nobody really talk about the 140. Don't nobody talk about the 154 until Jermell did it because those are not where the big fights happen. Historically, the 135, the 147, the 160, and the 175 in the heavyweight. Those were the divisions. Boxing just really added those middle divisions. But see, like Roberto Duran, he jumped from 135 to 147 to fight Sugar Ray. It wasn't no 140. And see, back then, boxers used to fight people bigger than them all the time. And shit, Roy Jones jumped from 160 to 168 to 175. Roy Jones is the only boxer to start from 154 and make it all the way to heavyweight and win a belt. And see, everybody praising Manny Pacquiao for the 8 divisions and all that. But that's only like 40-some pounds. Roy Jones went up over 50 pounds and won a belt. But people ain't talk about that. Yeah, be easy. I think Earl should take a tune up at 154 against like a Tony Harrison because Tony Harrison's done. Get him like a Tony Harrison or give him another Ocampo fight or something. Something. He don't need nothing that hard. Like, and if you want something that's not too easy for him, but something that'll test him, I would put him in there with Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin is a great middleweight fighter. He's not too good. I mean, he's not that great, but he's not that bad either. Or Fundora. I think he'll destroy Fundora. Fundora's style is all wrong for Earl. But it'll get Earl used to fighting a longer fighter because Bud got a longer reach on Earl. And he kept stepping back and tagging Earl with that reach. But the difference with Fundora, he gives up his size a lot in fights, though. But I need Earl to fight a longer fighter, somebody that can sit back and pop him with like a jab. Like an Errol Laura would be good for Earl, but he's up too high. Like he should have got Errol Laura in his training camp. Because if you'd have got Errol Laura in his training camp, that would have gave him a good feel for Crawford. Like Laura's a nice boxer. He's a nice boxer, and he gives angles. He's crazy with it. But people talk about that Janabek. Earl destroyed Janabek. Janabek's a hype job. I just seen them try to showcase him with some bum. And he destroyed that man in like 1-2 rounds, but it was a bum. Janabek, he ain't what everybody say he is. But I feel like Earl's already acclimated to 154, really. Like, he spars bigger guys. Edgar Chavez, salute. Peace and blessings to each and every one of y'all too. Let's thank for everybody got woke up today. But yeah, you gotta realize, y'all hit that like button for me too if y'all don't mind. But y'all gotta realize Earl's a big guy. He'll have no problem acclimating to 154. Hell, he'll have no problem acclimating to 160 because he's used to sparring bigger guys. He used to being bigger. It's just that him cutting down, and like I said, Earl's power is a lot stronger at 154, 160. I've told people throughout the years that we've never seen the best Earl Spence while he's at 147. All we see is like an inkling of his power. It's like a dam. You poke a hole in the dam, you see the water rush out, and you can feel the power behind it. But behind that wall, it's a lot more power back there. If it ever busts open, that power is going to run rapid. That's the way Earl is. That's why he got that bone breaking power. And that's why everybody that spars with him uses rear protectors and everything because Earl's in his element. When you spar, you're not sparring at 147. You're around 160, 165 sparring. So he's hitting hard. He's out there hitting with them guys. Because when you sparring at that weight. Well, BE's, if he goes to 154, he can still keep the belts. He said he was going to come back and fight Ennis. He said he might fight Ennis, but Bud said he wants to fight the big fights. And one thing I'm going to tell you, yes, Bud beat Errol, but he's not a pay-per-view draw yet. People don't realize just because you beat Errol Spence don't mean that you are a draw because his fans really don't buy his fights like that. Like, I think he'd get over 200,000 on the pay-per-view. He might do good depending on his partner, but he needs a good dancing partner. Ain't nobody going to pay to see him fight an Avenesian or something. And matter of fact, a good fight for Earl at 154 would be Virgil Ortiz. Him and Virgil Ortiz both coming up to 154. But that's a rugged ass fight. Earl been taking rugged fights his whole career. And that's another thing. When you take rugged fights back to back to back to back, that takes a hide out your ass. Like, the more rugged fights you get, yeah, it makes you a better fighter. But it also diminishes your boxing capacities. It takes a lot out of you. Like, look at the people that's been in the wars, like Diego Corrales and Marco Antonio Barrera and Holyfield and like all the fighters like that that's been in the wars. Yeah, they became better fighters. Look at James Toney. Man can hardly damn talk. He's been in wars, but he's done paid his price for it. Like, boxing will take his pound of flesh off of you. You may get in the wars, you may be victorious, but eventually, them headshots add up. Them headshots is called blunt force trauma. They will add up. And when they get to you, I mean, they there. They there. And Regis Prograis, he said Devin Haney and them not trying to stick to the agreement. See, it might be legal ramifications behind that because if you sign a contract is binding unless both parties agree to void and negate it. So they signed the contract for a certain weight, and now it's for a certain date, and now they trying to move on from that date. And see, that's what I've been saying right there. Devin Haney, he might be biting off more than he can chew, jumping straight to Regis Prograis. He ain't never fought at 140, and you fight one of the most dangerous 140 pounders out there between him and Sabril Matias. Now, Regis Prograis, he put himself through hell. If you go to Instagram and check out his Instagram, you see what he had to do for that Zorilla fight. So he was real fucked up for that fight right there. But Regis Prograis is a live dog. Him and Josh Taylor went to war. He took out Zapata. Like, Regis Prograis, he knocked out your boy, that Crawford, Indongo. He knocked out Indongo around before Crawford. Yeah, BE's Bud better stay away from Boots, yeah. Because, see, Bud hasn't been through the trials and tribulations Earl has. Bud's been having a lot of easy fights. Fights that we know that he's the clear winner. Now, Boots, I'm not saying Boots will beat Terrence Crawford because Crawford is a brilliant fighter. He got the experience, and he looks like he's peaking right now. Like he looks like he's right there at his prime, like the last dragon. It looks like he got the glow right now. But going up against Boots, this man can switch both sides, and he has power with both hands. He's younger, he's longer, he's bigger, he's quicker. All that looks like is a he has every attribute over Bud except for experience. Now I'm not taking away the dog in Bud. I'm not gonna say Bud can't beat him, but if Bud did beat him, it's gonna cost. Like the pay, the amount that he has to pay for that fight will be taxing. Like Bud fight Boots, he ain't gonna have too many. You can count a couple of fights off his boxing career right there, because those are the type of fights that shorten your boxing career. Because Boots, like I said, I'm not gonna say Boots can beat Bud because Bud's done showed himself time and time again. But going into a fight with like a guy like Jerron Ennis, especially this late in your career, you can age overnight in a fight like that. You can age overnight. And the kid got a whole bunch of different styles, just like Bud. But he's a natural switch hitter. So if Bud switches on him or uses that right as a jab, Jerron can also fire that jab back. Yeah, cash crypto is easy for that too, yeah. But like this one thing I don't understand right here. Fans don't understand making excuses and making observations. It's a difference when you make an observation than when you make an excuse. Like I said, I've never took that away from Bud. You know, Errol got the ring. What happened, happened. If Bud gloves was loaded, that's Errol fault because they should have watched the shit. You know, like everything. Yeah, Boots do got a lot of power. Ego maniac, but everything that happened, once you get in the ring, your people are supposed to be on top of everything. You're supposed to have somebody right there when they rapping. You're supposed to have somebody right there when the gloves go on. You're supposed to have somebody like everybody's supposed to do their job in boxing. You feel what I'm saying? Like if somebody's not doing their job, that's your team that you got to check on. But once you get that ring, it's no excuses. But you can make observations afterwards of what could have went different or what could have went wrong. That's not making an excuse. That's not saying, oh man, the only reason he beat. No, that's not what we saying. Like a person sitting there saying, like, man, Urshan did this and this. That's not making an excuse. That's an assumption. I mean, that's making an observation. Yeah, I can see that be easy, but if Earl if Earl wins the rematch, then a lot of people will sit there and say the only reason Bud beat him was because he was weight drained. You feel me? So then they would go back and say, well, Bud's never beat nobody when they was at 100%. So see that Asante L, salute, King. So that right there is a can of worms in itself. But the rematch already got a lot of interest because it's got the main thing that a rematch needs, and that's controversy. And Earl's not speaking on it, Bud not speaking on it. So when you got shit like that, then you know people it's gonna attract the interest of people because you know people they like a good controversy. Look at Tyson Fury and Wilder too. You know most rematches you do better. Floyd Maidana too. Floyd Castillo too. Like the rematch, you want to see what adjustments have been made. Holyfield Bow too. Tyson Holyfield too. You know the rematch. And yeah, y'all make sure y'all smash that like button for a killer real quick. Yeah, I don't know if Fanon gonna be on this morning, but I'm gonna be on until he comes on. If he don't come on, I guess I'll rock out with y'all. But yeah, anybody want to hop up here and give me your 2 cents? You know, the panel's open right now. The panel is open. And then everybody want to come up here and give your thoughts. But yeah, the rematch is gonna be a lot better. Hopefully, I can make it to the rematch if my shit heals up. Well, undercard. Well, Brian Castano. I mean, that's a nice fight for Earl. But if Earl beats Bud, then you know they probably gonna have a trilogy then. And then you know they still want Earl and Canelo. That's still the fight to make. If Earl can clean up Bud at 154 or whatever weight they do it at, besides 147, you know their game plan is still that Canelo fight. But I feel like Jermell Charlo gonna put a rail in that Canelo fight because I feel like Canelo, his 3-fight motherfucking contract is going two fights are gonna be with Jermell. Because I feel like Jermell's gonna surprise the world in the first fight. See, he's already a 250 underdog. You got an undisputed champion, 250 underdog. Like Canelo, Jermell Charlo gotta know. T Wells, Shalom King. Shalom, 6 a.m. in Denver. Salute. One thing people gotta realize is Jermell Charlo knows he can't go to the cards with Canelo. One thing about fighting Canelo, you already down 4 rounds. Bivol beat him damn near every round and barely got the decision. Canelo Alvarez, he has the home cooking the advantage. That's one thing you got to worry about Canelo. They're going to always lean his way. They're going to give him the closer rounds. Yeah, they look at the layoff and the jumping up. But this the fight Jermell Charlo been looking for his whole career. He's been waiting for a big money fight his whole career. None of his fights have really been big money. He's been calling for Canelo since they was both at 154. Jermall Charlo had a Canelo fight, but he turned it down. A lot of people don't even understand that. Jermall had a fight at Canelo at 160. He turned it down. Yep, T. Wells, he got that home cooking. See, Jermall had a fight with Canelo, but he chose not to fight Canelo. Like, I guess the stage felt like it was too big for him or something. Yeah, if Mel don't throw the fight, he should win. But one thing about boxing, one punch can change the outcome. One punch can change it, Asante. But as long as Mel get past that first fury of Canelo, he'll be all right. You got to know Canelo gonna come out with that flurry. Yeah. Oh yeah, undercard. I heard it was talks of Andre and David Benavidez. I like David Benavidez, but I would have rather seen Benavidez versus Morrell. But David Benavidez realized Morrell was a hard mountain to climb right there. I'm gonna tell y'all like this: Morrell, I don't think nobody under 200 beats Morrell. Honestly, David Morrell is a monster, and he's only getting better. He's young. David Morrell has the Cuban school boxing. He has the footwork, but not only does he have the footwork, he has that power. Salute Omega Red. David Morrell has put you in a hospital brain damage power. This man right here, and he has the sweet feet movement. See, David Benavidez, he got real fast hands, but David Benavidez' feet aren't that great. You know, when he fights, he squares up a lot. David Benavidez gets a tendency to square up when he fights. Like he'll start his combo with the right foot forward, then he end up square when he's throwing them shots. So he got to hit you with bunches and bunches because it ain't got the velocity that he wants it to have. And see, when you fight a guy like David Morrell, who's getting better every fight and still young, just like him, David Morrell, he can put combinations together. And it's not, it is very rare that you see people pass the 147, 154 division putting combinations together. Like usually when you get to 140, you stop throwing more than one or two shots at a time. But you got some fighters that are gifted, like Crawford, Boots, that'll put a 4 or 5 piece combination together. David Morrell, Darius, salute. David Morrell is also one of them fighters that he's at 168 that can put a combo together. And he has great feet. The man got real great feet. And he's very fluid. And he's over there with Ronnie Shields. He's over there with Errol Lauren now. They said that he had got Jamal Charlo in that sparring ring and did him something dirty. But yeah, he will be fighting somebody at the WBA ranking undercard, but a lot of people ain't lining up to fight that dude. You see what he did to the #1 challenger, the European. He sent that man 2 cents boxing. Salute. He sent that European to the hospital with brain injury. And so, yeah, Canelo really ain't got no foot moving to Sante L. No. He's never really had good feet. He's always had great upper body movement. And because his legs are messed up, his knees messed up, Snoopy Mac, salute. And since his knees is kind of messed up and everything, you talking about Bud versus Beltran? Bud versus Beltran was a couple weight classes different, bro. That was a couple weight classes different, bro. But like I was saying, David Benavidez, he throws bunches and bunches and punches. But he don't really sit down on his punches. Like, he don't really turn his punches over the way he should. A lot of them shots be like slapping shots. Like, he could have a lot more power if he sits there and turn them over instead of throwing all them rapid fire punches. And David Benavidez is another one that can put combos together. But David Morrell's combos come and they make you pay. Each shot makes you pay. And he's fluid with it. He can get in and get out. David Benavidez, he likes to corner you, get you there, and then throw bunches and bunches. Like, he just goes wild throwing the punches. Opening LT, opening LD, Shalom King, salute. Yeah, Demetrius Andrade is a bad matchup for David Benavidez. Boo Boo is a bad matchup for a lot of people. People don't realize Boo Boo. Hey, 2 cents. I'm gonna drop the link. You can hop on up here. Boo Boo is a bad matchup for a lot of people. Boo Boo, he got movement style. His power is decent. I don't really know how much his power moving up is, but Boo Boo's been a problem. He has that awkward style. He throws punches from angles most people can't throw him from. And them shots, they be landing. He's accurate with them. But he's so herky-jerky. He's kind of like Tyson Fury a little bit, not in the sense that he boxes like Tyson Fury, but they got the herky-jerky movement that you can't really place down, like you can't really get the bead on it. And Boo Boo, he's great at throwing them shots. And he's got respectable power. It looked like he was hitting that other guy with some bombs. It ain't Mr. I'm back. Undercard is, it's me again. That's what it is. He be like, it's me again. Yep. Well, David Benavidez is trying to be a pay-per-view star right now. Asante. And he's doing all the right things to do it. But that Morrell fight would have been nice. I think that Morrell fight would have been pay-per-view worthy because David Morrell is making a name for himself. I think he's in his like 9th or 11th fight. I can't remember exactly what. And I think it's only 1 or 2 people that's went the distance with him. I gotta pull it up. But each fight that he's been taking the last 3 fights, he's been putting a stop into him. And he's been punishing him. And the man has, I'm gonna hurt you power. And see, he's very young. He's not even 25 yet. And so he's just now getting into his grown man strength. And that's another thing. We got all these young boxers, Akello Netter, Shalom King. We got all these young boxers out here that's great right now. We got David Morrell, we got David Benavidez, we got Tank, we got Shakur, Devin. Boxing has a bright future right now. We got a lot of fights that's coming out there. We got a lot of nice fights that's gonna be set up. And Canelo, he's on his way out the door. That's why he signed to Al Heyman and PBC to take this last contract. Which, if he would have signed last time, it would only been 2 fights for 100 million. Now he's doing 3 fights for 100 million, and they're gonna make their money back off the Charlo fight because Canelo gets his guarantee that they get theirs off the top, and Canelo, he's gonna do 1 million pay-per-view buys regardless. One thing about Canelo fans, they come and show out and they show up. Canelo versus Caleb Plant. A lot of people didn't really want to see it because they thought Caleb Plant wasn't nothing, but we seen Caleb Plant show his worth. That did 800,000 buys. Canelo versus Triple G did 1.2 mil. Hell, Canelo versus John Ryder did like 500,000. Yeah, 2 cents. He only got 9 fights, but look how many fights Lomachenko had. His second fight, he lost for a title. Didn't get a title fight for his third fight. Like when you on the fast track, you on the fast track. Keyshawn Davis said he's on the fast track, but really, David Morrell is really on the fast track. The man's been a champion since his 5th fight. He's the same champion that Gervonta Tank Davis is, the WBA world champion. Canelo's the super champion. But yeah, Canelo fans will show up against Jermell Charlo because first off, you got the black versus brown demographic. They always show up and show out for that. Next, you got Canelo fighting a Charlo. And if they do that in Texas, Dallas Cowboys Stadium, that's going to sell out from Canelo fans and the Houston people. Because Charlo's making a name. And this ain't the Charlo we wanted to see Canelo fight. But it's a Charlo still. They twins. And I think this was more meaner. Jamal, he done lost some points with me trying to press charges on Caleb Plant. That was crazy. Let me ask y'all a question, though. Oh, yeah, undercard. And you know something? I don't mind buying the pay-per-views. As long as they keep giving us the fights we want. I mean, we'll pay for it. But, Showtime put a lot of good premium fights on, too. Edgar Chavez, I already said that they weren't going to do about 700K, if y'all remember. Because Bud fans first don't like to pay for shit. That's one. Secondly, they're both like dipping in the same pool. They both like dipping in the same pool. Like hardcore boxing fans and stuff wanted that right there. Like Bud and Spence really don't appeal to the casuals. It appeals with the older generation and people that really love the sport of boxing. See, like Tank and Ryan, they appeal to the new schoolers, the baby boppers, and all that right there. Because they went on Twitch, they went on Cassinet, they went on that Adrian guy, that Adrian guy, I forgot what the white guy name is, that has that show. Aiden Moss, that's his name, Aiden Moss. So they appeal to that generation. Plus Ryan got 10 million Twitter followers. Tank has like 5-6. Like they both are social media famous. So a lot of young kids ran out and was like, can you get that fight? Can you get that fight? See, a lot of young kids ain't running out there for Bud and Spence. But us true boxing fans wanted that. And then you got motherfuckers sitting there streaming the fights, acting like they down, but they streaming the fights and then trying to talk about people already bought it. We just talking about it. That's why people sit there saying we can't see the fight. Yeah. I would love to see Keith Thurman versus Boots. I'm tired of Keith talking too much. I'm tired of Keith talking so much. Like Keith Thurman, real disrespectful. Like, especially the way he disrespected Stephen Fulton and the way he clowned Earl Spence. Like, you clowned Earl Spence, but you ducked him. You ducked him a couple times. You had a chance to get the biggest fight with Floyd if you fought Earl. You didn't want that. You told Earl to get a belt. He got a belt. You didn't unify. And see, a lot of these Bud fans that we see aren't really Bud fans. They're Thurman fans. See, a lot of these people that hate Spence are really Thurman fans. People that ain't realizing it, though. But I think that Thurman and Ugas is supposed to happen around September, October, I thought. It was supposed to be like September, October. Ugas is already training. I seen Keith. He showed himself training. They probably got a date. They just waiting to say it. But I think Keith, he wants to be pay-per-view. But hell, Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios, that pay-per-view didn't really do no numbers. I mean, it was a decent card, but Keith Thurman got to realize he's not a pay-per-view star like that. Like, you did a pay-per-view with Manny Pacquiao, y'all did 500,000. That was mostly Manny Pacquiao's people. Yep. Smash the like, people. Smash the like. But yeah. Shakur, he should fight De Los Santos. Shakur sitting there talking about nobody wants to fight him. He keep trying to send contracts and everything out. Edwin De Los Santos been calling for Shakur for over a year now. The man done been calling him out on Twitter, and Shakur act like he don't see him. He don't see him. But what do y'all think is next for Tank? Who do y'all want to see next for Tank? We know it ain't Devin, because Devin signed to fight Regis. We know it ain't Shakur, because Shakur ain't said Tank name again. I don't want Esau Cruz. I'd rather get Williams Zabata than Esau Cruz. And that dude that was on for 9 yesterday, that boy was crazy talking about Bud versus Tank. Talking about that'll be the biggest fight. Like, they want Tank to go out here and fight damn everybody. Like, that shit crazy. But I can't say Tank. Okay, undercard Keith Thurman versus Boots pay-per-view. Yeah, I buy that. I buy that. That's pay-per-view worthy. That's Boots going on pay-per-view versus Keith, one-time Thurman. I will buy that right there. See, that's a fight. Like, pay-per-view fights I buy. I buy Benavidez versus Morel on pay-per-view. I pay for that. That'd be a great fight. I buy Devin and Shakur on pay-per-view. Undercard, what does Shakur really bring to the table? He ain't did pay-per-view either. Honestly. Tank versus Ryan, they gonna do a rematch. Ryan Garcia, he gotta win the 140 belt first, which he will do if they get that Rolly fight. Because Ryan is trying to fight Rolly. And if Ryan fight Rolly, that's gonna be pay-per-view as well. Because you know they got that sparring incident where Rolly beat up on Ryan, but that was a different Ryan that he beat up on. Ryan Garcia knocked this nigga out now. Oh, I know undercard. I know. I don't even see G-Man in here. G-Man came over here the other day. Rick Glacier can't do a damn thing for me. That motherfucking turkey neck motherfucker. Rick Glacier ain't shit. But a racist piece of shit that don't know shit about boxing, like Floyd say. You don't know shit about boxing. Yeah. But Emmanuel Rodriguez, this the same guy that Inoue knocked out early that was beating Antonio Russell ass into that headbutt. I mean, I understand that though, undercard that he's that. But Shakur ain't did a pay-per-view yet. And Shakur ain't got a belt at 135 yet. That's what I'm saying. Lomachenko ain't gonna fight him. And Shakur say he need a fight. I mean, Edwin De Los Santos, he beat El Rayo, but he looking good. He called the man out. You want a statement? I mean, that's a statement to make right there. William Sabata's not going to fight him. Kambosa's going to fight Lomachenko. See, Kambosa sat there and stole Max Hughes' IBO belt. They gave it to him. Stole the Maxie Hughes IBO belt. And now him and Lomachenko is going to fight for a vacant belt and that IBO belt. Watch what I tell you. All right, undercard, you be safe, bro. Peace and blessings. But yeah, that's gonna happen. Lomachenko and Kamboso. That's why Kamboso's got the nod. Because the man got beat 9-3, 8-4 easily. But he ended up getting the nod. And for him to get that nod, you knew it was a lot of flaky stuff and BS going down. So you know, Shane Frazier, salute. Salute. The link's in the chat. Like for now, say the link's in the chat. Who want to get up here and talk some boxing? And see, hell, I just got my monetization back last week. But hey, I do this because I love it. I do it because I love y'all, man. You know, this little spot we get together and gather. You know, I'm going to build this platform a lot bigger. You know, hell, I got 1,400 subscribers last month. I just started this channel last year. Because, hell, I used to go to different channels and state my opinion. B-Dog, salute, King. See, the reason why I started this channel, I used to go to different channels, state my opinion. I got tired of all the biasness, all the bullshit narratives. I got tired of seeing people that really don't know shit about boxing that's never been in the ring. And if you've never been in the ring, how can you sit there and tell a person what they can and can't do? Or criticize a person if you've never seen what it's like to cut weight? If you never took the punch? Like a lot of these sports writers that be critical and all this shit on boxings, these motherfuckers won't break a promise. Won't fight, won't break a wet paper bag. These boxers and pundits and all this out here, they don't know shit about boxing. They push a narrative and they don't know what the hell they seeing. They want people to go on what they want them to go on. Like you trying to tell me that Triple G is better than Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Or you trying to tell me that Lomachenko is the best you've seen since Ali. Like shit like that, that's crazy. Edgar Chavez, salute to the $2 cash. Super chat, brother. Appreciate that. And then you got fans out here that's listening to what people say. Like, you can't make an opinion without somebody saying it's an excuse. No, excuse is when you sit there and get those talking about, man, I can't believe it. No. As boxing fans, and we watch the sport, we can talk about what we see. We can make it opinions. If we see that our fighter is not normally the way he is, we're not making excuses for him because he got in the ring, he signed the contract. But we can observe and we can see that, man, I don't know what was wrong with him because, hell, he usually do this. He couldn't take no punch. Like, but they want to holler an excuse because they don't want to hear what you got to say because it goes against their narrative. And they get mad and say you're making excuses because they see something is wrong as well. But they don't want nothing to take the image that they already have or to mess up their perfect narrative. That be the problem. And I feel like this, when you watching boxing, you got to have an unbiased eye. Yes, it's good. 2 cents boxing. Salute for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. But see, when you watching boxing, it's okay to root for your favorite fighter. It's okay to have fans. Like, sports is tribalism. When we watch football, we have our favorite team. But if your favorite team don't make it to the Super Bowl, you still cheer and watch the Super Bowl. And if my favorite fighter lose, hey, I'm glad he fought the good fight. But I'm not going to take nothing away from another fighter. Even though I couldn't stand Tarver. Roy Jones was my favorite fighter. When he beat Roy Jones, I had to give him his credit. I said, damn, Roy, he's just a better man. But when he got caught juicing, then I was like, man, that's the only way he beat Roy. Now, see, when you're juicing and shit like that, then that's different. But if you sit there and you beat somebody and you put in the blood, sweat, and tears and the hard work to get to where you at, it's a hater if you don't respect that. And I ain't never been a hater. I respect the grind. I respect the struggle. I respect everything that these people put into these sports. Like Deontay Wilder say, somebody's got to pay for this blood, sweat, and tears that I done put in. And that's how boxers feel. That's how fighters feel. You know, you got to be some type of crazy to get in the ring and take repeated shots to the head. You got to be some type of crazy to take your body and push it to the limit and risk dehydration and other ailments by cutting weight. You gotta be some type of crazy to want to go out there and bash another person's head in while getting yours bashed in. You gotta be some kind of crazy to want to be alone from your family. Boxing is a lonely sport. There's a lot of solitude in there. You know, you train and all that, but it's just you getting in that ring. It's just you getting in that ring and you getting in there by yourself. Can't nobody get in there and help you. Can't nobody bail you out. It's either you got it or you don't. But you know, it's survival of the fittest. You know, if you're a warrior, you're not. Like that movie 300, the Spartans. When their kids was born, they used to take them out in the wilderness and they'll leave them. If they make it back to the tribe, then they members. If not, they just food. And that's the way it is. That's the way the PBC is. The PBC's not gonna hold your hand. If you part of the PBC, either you gonna sink or you gonna swim. But that's why they get marketed so well. Because the PBC fighters go out there, they fight tough fights. While you got Top Rank who holds the hand or the zone, who sit there and give you fights that are not even comparable. Fights that's not even close. Fights that you already know the winner to. And don't nobody want to watch something that you already know who gonna win. Like Errol and Bud. Nobody expected that outcome. Even the people that picked Bud, they didn't expect Bud to win the way he won. And it was amazing. It was bullshit on some instances, but a lot of these fans ain't used to winning. They got a lot of stuff going on. If they think a win by Bud, a person that they don't even know, is they think because he won, that's gonna make their life any different. No. Bud won. Bud got paid. And you hate no Earl, but Earl's paid. And they just another motherfucker late paying their rent. That's all that is. Because 2-cent boxing, when you fight for the PBC, it's like you a 1099 person. You a private contractor. And Top Rank and companies like that, they invest a lot in their fighters. Keep in-house fights. So most time, whenever they do a crossover fight, it's a PBC fighter getting put out to slaughter. It's a lot of journeymen that have got a few losses, and so they load them out to other companies so they can make some money. And then by chance, if they get a knockout or something, they build their reputation up. But a lot of people don't like the PBC, but it's black owned. They always talk shit about the PBC, but it's black owned. They was talking about BLK Prime. BLK Prime went black owned, but they was talking about support black, support the BLK Prime. But PBC is a black owned corporation company. Al Heyman. They say support the black owned, but they steady coming at PBC. PBC give us the fights we want. Shalom Kiani. PBC has given us a brilliant year of boxing. Not the zone, not Top Rank. And now the PBC got all the pay-per-view fighters. And you know something, B-Dog? That's a good thing. But these commission guys, like the WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF, they're all private entities. They don't answer to nobody. You know, they make their own rules. Whatever they say, go. Like, in a couple more years, the IBO will probably be a major belt. That's the same way the WBO started. International boxing, you know. Oh, so Panani is coming on at 9? Okay, so I get off at 9 then. I remember him saying that he might not come on. I told him if he not, I come on. But hell, we got 28 minutes, and I'm going to come on later on today anyway. But yeah, I just didn't want people not to have nowhere to go to. You know what I'm saying? We get this boxing talk every day. And you know, this is my damn solace right here. Like, I don't look at YouTube as a job. I look at it as, you know, get to hang with my people. Like-minded people that like to talk boxing. Instead of watching these corporate media people. And see, I give everybody a chance. And see, here, I give everybody a chance to speak their mind. I don't want to say nobody's opinion is better than the next. And I believe anybody's opinion is valid if you can support the reasoning behind it. Now, if you can support the reasoning behind it, you prove your point. $2 That's because Rick Glazer, he doesn't like Floyd Mayweather. That's first and foremost. Rick Glazer has a little chubby for Floyd Mayweather. Can't stand him. And he can't stand Tank because he thinks Tank is a product of Mayweather. Rick Glazer's going to always hate on the young boxers if you ain't got the complexion for the connection. And I hate to say it. But I know they probably about to demonetize this video for me saying it, but the hell with it. It need to be said. You know, like I said, I ain't up here for the money. They done demonetized me before, so I don't really care. I'm going to go ahead and say it like this. Just as long as they don't take my platform away from me. But look, you got to realize African-American fighters are the bane of people's existence. Like Jack Johnson had to give this man $15,000 to fight for the championship belt, and he had to give this man a percentage of his purse. See, they hate that we can dominate in the sport. They hate that we can dominate in the sport. See, basketball was all good when they were shooting them jumpers and shit until we came in with the layups and the dunks. Boxing was all good when they was Queensberry style, and then we came out with that knockout power, the slick fighting style. See, we add a flavor to everything we do. And we slick. You ain't never seen a European fighter fight the way we do. You'll never see one fight like Floyd. You'll never see one with the power like Wilder. You'll never see one as athletic as Roy. It's just not going to happen. And they hate that right there. And see, before the internet and before YouTube and platforms, they was able to push a narrative. And they have pushed that narrative, and that narrative is what the public thinks. Like, they got ESPN, the worldwide leader of sports. Usually when ESPN say go, people out here was thinking Lomachenko was undefeated at 10-0-1 when the nigga lost his second fight. You had this black guy out there talking about unified, undefeated. This man had a undefeated. He was defeated. They put Lomachenko ahead of Terrence Crawford, who was undefeated. Lomachenko had lost already, and they still put him above Terrence Crawford and said he was a better fighter than Terrence Crawford. Boost gas, salute, King. They tried to say Floyd wasn't what he was for so long. And you know, they tolerate the Spanish boxers because Mexicans got a great fan base. But they don't really fuck with the Spanish boxers like that either. They want the Europeans ahead of everybody. Like, if you see, if it's a close fight between a European and an African American, it's going to the European. If it's a close fight between a European and a Spanish person, it's going to the European. Hell, y'all see Canelo versus Triple G the last fight. They tried to rob Canelo, and he's supposed to be the quote unquote face of boxing. They tried to give Triple G the win over Canelo. What you don't realize is boxing is a tribal sport, and it's about superiority. It's about
What's going on,
superiority.
Professor?
Shalom, undercard, what's good with you?
Ain't nothing, brother. A beautiful day to talk this boxing, live this boxing, and a great weekend of fights. Whew.
Yes, Lord. Antoine Russell back in the building.
Yeah, you got a you got a top ranked card. You got a Showtime card. I'm not sure if the zone putting something on, but they probably do something to that this weekend. So it's stacked. Oscar
Yeah,
Valdez, Navarrete.
yeah. And see, I'm gonna take Navarrete. Like, I feel like Oscar Valdez versus Navarrete. Navarrete is the underdog. I'm gonna take him because he showed me a lot of heart. And
Hey,
I
that's
feel like
funny. The
Oscar
champion is the underdog
Valdez.
versus Valdez.
Yeah, and Oscar Valdez, he got decent power, but I seen too many holes in the Robinson Gaethje fight, and I seen too many holes in the Shakur Stevenson fight. And when Oscar Valdez can't just come forward and bulldoze you, he's not a great fighter. And
Yeah.
Navarrete, he has reach over him, so I feel like that reach will play a part.
You don't think this fight ends in a knockout?
I gotta see how Navarrete adjusts to this 130 power. You know, he's coming up 2 divisions now.
Yeah, but he's already captured the title. He's the title holder. He's a WBO title holder.
Yeah, he fought Liam Wilson for the title
Yep.
holder.
Hmm.
Liam Wilson, look who I'm talking about. Liam Wilson. You know, he came up for a mandatory title shot uh, against a vacant shot against Liam Wilson. And
Yeah.
Liam Wilson ain't no name. But like
And
I
he put
said
him on
with
his ass too.
Navarrete, now this training camp he's had a chance to get with that power. Like I'm thinking he's gonna be a lot more stronger because the first against Liam Wilson, that was his first fight in the division. So I'm thinking he's done got bigger and strong because he's already tall. But I think he's gonna prove problems for Valdez. Oh yeah, the AJ fight is this weekend as well.
Correct. Correct. That's the zone card. Correct. The zone versus Hellenius.
Yeah, Hellenius just fought last weekend too.
Yeah, last Saturday. How do you think that fight plays out? Does it end in stoppage? Does AJ have to look good for Derek James'
AJ
sake?
AJ has to and will look good. But see, Robert Hellenius, he could be a great fighter. Like we seen him go to war with Adam Kalnowski twice and knock him out twice. Salute Kawhi Elliott. So we seen him knock out Adam Kalnowski twice. But we also seen Chisora knock him out, and we seen Wilder knock him out. You feel me?
Yeah.
But he was Wilder's
Let's
sparring
let's see if he
partner.
makes it interesting,
I think he'll make
or
it
he
interesting.
stays competitive.
Yeah, he's competitive. Like Wilder's the only person that knocked him out early, and he's looked good last weekend. He knocked that guy out in 3 rounds. So he looked real good. That's how he was able to you know,
Get this fight.
yeah. But AJ been training hard, according to Coach Derek James. AJ's been in there training hard. And see, he said AJ was a great athlete, but now AJ is more fluid. You're gonna see like a Charlo version of AJ. AJ, he's got that jab now. His jab is strong and stiff. We're gonna see a strong jab out of AJ, and we're gonna see him work the body, and we're gonna see him throw up the high guard as well. AJ's gonna be into the damn. You're gonna see. Hey, your shit loud as hell, bro.
Yeah, I'm up for New York City. I apologize, man. Let me
Oh,
turn it down.
okay.
I'm literally walking in Manhattan right now.
Oh,
My
okay,
bad.
okay.
I'm muted while you.
Okay. But yeah, AJ, we're gonna see AJ, a version of AJ that's kind of a hybrid between Earl, Frank, and Charlo. Cause like Derek James, he takes each fighter and makes it their style. Like he makes the style their way. But he's always about conditioning first, defense, and body work. And that's what AJ is about to work, that body, defense, and conditioning. So AJ's gonna go out there. Hellenius, he's got decent power. But I'm pretty sure that AJ's going to shrug that off and he's going to stop that man in about 5, 6 rounds.
Another caveat that not a lot of people are talking about is Malik Scott has a fighter fighting Chisora on this card. Do you think he's using this card to scout Anthony Joshua?
Of course
I
he
think his
is.
name is Washington. Washington versus Chisora. I think he's trained by Malik White.
Yeah. They was trying to put Washington, you talking about Gerald Washington, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they was going to do AJ versus Gerald Washington. They was trying to move him up to AJ, but they turned it down. They turned it down. So that would have been a better scout report right there. But I guess they didn't want to put Gerald Washington in a situation like that. And honestly, like Derek Chisora is the favorite, but I kind of favor Gerald Washington a little bit. I don't think he's gonna beat him, but I think he'll make it interesting. Derek Chisora, he's done took a lot of fights, a lot of losses too. Gerald Washington, he's learning a new style and everything. He's in there training with Wilder and shit, but he might not beat Chisora, but I think he make it interesting. But if anybody likes to go for underdogs and everything, I like the Navarrete as an underdog, just a sleeper pick. You ain't got to put much on it, just try it. I think Emmanuel Navarrete might surprise Valdez, though.
How do you think Gary Antoine does against Kent Cruz?
At first, I thought Kent Cruz was nobody. Then I say, damn, where the PBC be finding all these undefeated fighters at? You feel me? But Kent
Mm-hmm.
Cruz is undefeated with a draw. And I went back and looked at a couple of his fights. He's pretty decent, but he don't have no pressure well. And Gary Antoine Russell, he can push the pace. And
Yeah, he'll be in your
but I don't
chest
know
the
how
whole fight.
Yeah, but I don't know how Gary Antoine gonna look from his layoff because this has been his longest layoff as well.
Yeah, he had an
So I
arm
don't know
injury
how
the
he.
last fight.
Yeah, but his last fight was against Postal, right?
No, Ramses Bartholomew.
Yeah, Bartholomew,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was a premature stoppage for real because
Yeah, I
I
wanted that
thought,
rematch.
huh?
I wanted to see that rematch.
Yeah, I felt like Rancis was ahead that fight. I thought, and I felt like
Yeah, I think he put him
Rancis,
down as well in that fight. I think he knocked him down.
and I felt like Rancis they premature stopped it because Rancis was giving Russell everything he could handle in that fight. And as soon as Rancis got in a little bit of adversity, they hurry up and stop that fight. They wanted to save that check. That's all that was. It was kind of like what they did with Rolly Romero versus Grandpa.
Barbosa, yeah. I mean, if he looks good in this fight, then I definitely see that he'll be in position for a title fight, or
He
he'll
had a
become
title
someone's
fight, but
mandatory.
he
He
had a
turned it
title fight.
down.
He turned it down.
Yeah, well, yeah, listen, the Gary brothers know what they're doing as it pertains to boxing. They have a good legacy, so they probably turned it down for the right reason. Why take the fight to lose? You want to take the fight when you're at your peak and win. Because remember, he just suffered also an injury, so maybe that played a factor as well. He knows going into a fight with an injury can affect the judging and the scorecard because that's how he lost. Gary Jr. lost his belt to
Yeah, but he was going against Pulio, Albert
yeah,
Pulio.
yeah, yeah. Before he got the drug suspension.
Yeah. See, he was going against Albert Pulio. He was going to be the favorite in that fight anyway.
So
And he's PBC's golden child as well. They're not going to let him fall like that because he's not like his brother. He's more agreeable. See, Gary Allen Russell, he was militant and he was a disagreeable sort. Like
right.
he wouldn't take the fights they wanted, and sanctioning bodies really couldn't make much money off of him because hell, he barely fought. So that's why you got Manny Pacquiao's guy. Pacquiao's a legacy fighter. So you want
Yeah.
to hurry up and pass that belt over.
What do you think about Gary Jr. versus Tank?
I don't think that's gonna happen to you.
I do not, but I mean, I'm seeing that the list of name for Tank and fights that I want to see, fights that could, make generate him money are not, they're not very fluent right now. A lot of guys are making dates. A lot of guys have already been signing contracts. So the list of fighters for Tank is just going down and down. So I
Yeah,
don't
but
see who's available.
Tank last opponent made 30 million. You would think people would be beating down the door to fight Tank, right?
Yeah,
But see, Gary, he seen that 30 million that round made. And Gary, he's been calling out Tank. And
yeah,
like
yeah.
Gary could last a couple rounds with Tank, but you don't know what that shoulder gonna do. Like this is first time fighting with that shoulder. Plus, he jumping from 126 to 135. Like it's weight classes for a reason. The man ain't fought at 135 yet. He might be better at 135. He might not be. But Tank ain't the one you just want to jump off the porch and fight your first fight at 135. Like
True.
I'd say, put Gary against Esau Cruz because
I like that fight.
I felt like Giovanni Barrera beat Esau Cruz. And if y'all was on the live stream, I picked Giovanni Barrera. But see what I be doing, I be picking against the favorites and shit, like thinking that boxing gonna give people a fair shake. Like I picked Maxie Hughes against Camboso, but I should have
Hmm.
realized they had Camboso lined up for Lomachenko.
Yeah, you saw Lou DiBella there. I knew there was going to be a robbery.
Yeah, they robbed that man from his IBO belt. That was kind of
Hmm.
cool. That man was the IBO champion. They took his belt like that. He won 9-3, 8-4.
Yeah, they definitely gave him an extra check on the back end to not protest that fight.
You say what?
They probably gave him an extra check at the end to not protest that fight because I don't know who was scoring that card to say that UD Cambosis. We saw him lose all those rounds.
Yeah, he
His
lost
punch
9
output was
3,
trash.
8-4.
Yeah.
But I told people that Cambosos was trash. That's how Devin beat that man with a jab. I told
Hmm.
everybody before the fight. If you remember, I sat there and told people, if you roll the Cambosos left side, he's not a
Can't
full
move.
fighter. He can't fight from his left side. He's a right dominant fighter. If you go to his left side, and that's what Devin did the first fight, kept rolling to his left side.
Yeah.
Cambosos don't have no power in his left hand. He can barely jab with that left hand. Like
Copy.
he
All
got a
right,
lot of
Upper X,
holes.
man. Oh, thanks a lot for the platform. Brother got to go sign into work. I'll holler at y'all, man. I'll see y'all later. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off in about 5 minutes so we can go catch for 9. But
Yes, sir. I'll see you over there.
all right.
All right.
But like I told people, Cambosos, it makes me feel like something really was wrong with Teofimo Lopez for Cambosos to beat that man. At first, I thought he was just making excuses, but Cambosos is trash. He really is. His left hand is non-existent. And everybody, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to 2 Cent Boxing. She do good work over there. Yeah, Kawhi. Ruiz, his dad got him asking for 50-50. Like, you can't get 50-50 with Wilder. His pay-per-view fight bombed. Like, that's the thing. Boxers say they want the fight. They say they want the smoke, then they price themselves out. It's crazy. But they do it all the time. Boxers scared to lose that O. But fans, we need to start letting boxers know just because you lose, it's not over with. And see, Keith Thurman, for him to have lost to Pacquiao and his T-Rex arms, the way he was talking all that shit to Pacquiao, and the way he said that Cash Crypto said Killer Cambosis. And the way Keith Thurman say that people wrote him off after he lost to Pacquiao, you would think that he would understand about a boxer taking a loss. But he's out here cooning, shoe shuffling, and he's talking crazy about Stephen Fulton, just trying to suck up the inner way, then disrespecting Errol. That's Keith Thurman trying to do anything to stay relevant. Exactly, 2 Cent. He's a gatekeeper. He tries to deny it, but he is. And when him and Ugas fight, Ugas gonna surprise him. I seen a lot of holes in Keith Thurman when he was fighting Mario Barrios. Barrios hurt that man. But to say Stephen Fulton's a bitch, and he punched like a bitch, and laugh away Errol got beat. Like, dude, I remember you getting knocked down in the first round by Pacquiao, then getting hurt to the body by a 40-year-old man. So you shouldn't say shit about nobody. But stuff like that makes boxers not want to take chances. They get out here, put it all on the line for us fans, and then when they lose, you got fans trolling them on social media sites. Like, damn, show some respect. The man lost, okay, but he gave us a great fight. You got to understand, they don't have to do these fights. They can be doing these bullshit fights like Canelo used to do. Yeah, 41-year-old. Two Cent, Errol would never fight Keith Thurman, because if Errol fights Keith Thurman, he'd be giving Keith Thurman a bag. He don't want to let Keith Thurman make no money off him. But I'm gonna get ready to get up off here. You gotta play our part music. But anybody that got a platform, you go ahead and put it in the And Kawhi, he can outbox Thurman though. I feel like he can. He just ain't got Thurman's power. But anybody that got a channel, y'all put it in here. We're gonna get ready to go for 9. But shit, I'll come back on like around 1:30, 2 o'clock. Just put your notifications on. I'll pop back on later, people. Appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. Let's blow it.
They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought it was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. It be exciting when I get to strike and guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hit us, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK or anybody kill. I pop out, get the drilling and spilling. Stay on point, 6-2 gon' split 'em. FN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eat these bullets for dinner. 5.0, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple ops, Draco. I got 'em all, you don't want no. Bitch, I got it for 'em. smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sonny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding.
Hey, John Kramer, that's my homie, man. Nah, that's my homie. Anybody that want the song, just hit me up on Instagram and I'll send you the song. But yeah, I'm out. Just hit me on Instagram and I'll send you the track to your email. All right, peace and blessings to each and every one of y'all. I get you one undercard. All right. He was on our label, but he locked up right now. Hit me on Instagram, Kramer. It's upper underscore boxing. Upper echelon underscore boxing.